Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters. I'm nice and greasy here today and saving it for the sauna tonight, but I want to try and do a video real quick before I have to hop on a call for my classes. Luckily it's not in person, but the one tomorrow is. Yeah, so crazy weekend. Actually, I just want to talk about how I think that 2 days is the perfect amount of time to stay in Lappeenranta, because beyond that, it gets to be very, like, there's nothing to do. And, like, the first day we pretty much burned through everything to do with these guests who were visiting. And then they're like, what can we do tomorrow? I'm like, oh, we can go to these good restaurants. And then they were closed. I've never tried to go somewhere on a Sunday, so I didn't understand. Like, the pancake place I really wanted to go was closed. And then the kitchen, which is, like, the one good restaurant, I think, was also closed. So that sucked. But we did, like, the traditional, as I call it, the house dinner party, yeah, that my grandmother started. And that was really fun. And I was really happy that my friends enjoyed that. And it's mostly just I cook and then everybody eats it. They usually like it. And my friends are like, are you a good cook? And I'm like, I don't know, people think I am, but I spend most of my time not cooking, so it's a mystery how that even works. But I mostly cook like the same thing so that I know it's safe and people will eat it. I mean, I used to be more experimental, but that's been years now, so I'm not sure at this point. It's been like at least over a year and a half, because I only really cooked when I lived here. I don't cook in the US because it's a time thing, to be honest. I usually just eat at the restaurant. But yeah, like basically it was like, my friends came to visit Friday night. We went to sleep pretty quickly. And then on Saturday, we woke up and immediately went to the city center. They really wanted to see this Market Square thing, and we got the Vetu sandwich. Let me see if I have a picture. This is supposed to be, like, famous to the area. I think I only found out about that recently, but yeah, there's that. And that was cool. And then we walked down to the harbor area. Well, first we went to the Iso Christina because I really wanted like a cappuccino type of thing. I got a matcha latte, whatever. Throw some pictures. There we go. So I got that. And then I didn't really walk around the Iso Christina. We walked down to the fortress area, like literally just walked there. And then we went to Prisma to do grocery shopping for the dinner party. We got back right in time for the dinner party, as it always goes. And then I cooked while everybody was hanging out and they were talking and, having beer, whatever, very Finnish kind of thing going on. Even though my friend group almost exclusively consists of Russian males, with the exception of my Finnish friend who's a Russophile. So how did that happen? I don't know. It just did. And then my friends who are also males are like, do you have any female friends? And I'm like, no, I do, just not here. Like, in fact, I do have Finnish female friends. They just all live not in Lappeenranta. Or the ones who I have here are not always necessarily, which I did have one female friend at this party, but they're not necessarily going to want to come to this type of party because it's usually more of like the dudes are drinking and can get kind of like dumb and rowdy. Maybe I just consider it free entertainment because they're usually joking around about things, and it kind of feels like I turned on stand-up comedy, but for the whole evening. So it's really a great time. And yeah, I just really we had a nice time. And then we went out to some bar. That was fun because I like to do karaoke. And then my friends are like, wow, they have karaoke everywhere. And they're like, imagine if you opened up this kind of place in New Jersey, how much money you would make. And I was like, honestly, that's a good idea. And then I was like, where would I get the capital for that? But I was like, but that's still a really good idea. Like, I really was like, I agree with this business idea. It's just I have too many business ideas right now. But at the end of this, they were all like, oh, this was so cool because none of the dudes were on their phones and they were really engaged, and like you could never like do that kind of thing in the US. Like, people wouldn't be down for that. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, they're just really impressed with the nature of the whole thing. So that made me really happy. Okay, I have my class now, so let me see if I'll return to this later. Okay, so confusing. My class is starting at 2 and I'm supposed to be doing something else right now, and then I'm like trying to resist the urge to go to the university because there's food there that I can eat. This is like an everyday problem, whatever. But I just want to finish explaining this and whatever, like, just kind of get done with this because I want to complete this task. So yeah, but they're really impressed by like, wow, your friends are really fun. They're really cool. And I was like, thanks. They're like, yeah, you can't find people like this in the US. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's the thing I hate about it. I know. And it's just like people, my apartment here is not big, but it's like I can still have a dinner party. Whereas in the US, I feel like even if I want to have a dinner party, trying to find 10 people who would actually come to it and not flake out would be kind of hard. Like, very honestly. And then you're like, what the heck? Why wouldn't people come? It's free food. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. It's just people are weird. So they're impressed by that. Thought the karaoke situation was pretty cool. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And then oh yeah, and my one friend's like, "How are you not nervous?" I was like, "I don't know. I've done this a bunch. Like, it's like me recording the YouTube videos now. I don't really get nervous because I've like done 120 of them. It's like whatever. I probably done more than that in karaoke songs at this point. That's probably true. Yeah. But I don't know. It was really nice. Like, I just like it makes me really happy when I have people over and they like my food and they like have a nice time with each other, and like that really brings me a lot of joy. It's like it's an intangible, priceless kind of joy. I don't know. Well, joy is intangible. Whatever. You get the point. It's joy that doesn't cost that much money. And like, it does cost money because I had to go buy the ingredients, but whatever. Actually, you can do a potluck too. It's just I always do it this way because I feel an obligation. I don't know. So yeah, there was that. And then the next day, all the places we wanted to go to were closed. So we got another vetu sandwich. And then we went to the fortress. I showed them Satsamati 6 or whatever it's called now, Lechmus Cafe, I think. And I'm like, this place is kind of famous. So, okay, cool. Then we walked around the Iso Christina. Then we finally went to the Georgian restaurant. Here are some pics of that. Wow, it was pretty good. Yeah, like I would totally go back there again. I mean, it's a little bit pricey, sure, but like it's a lot less pricey than me flying to Georgia to get the same food, so whatever. Speaking of which, I was technically supposed to go to Armenia at the end of the week. I'm still procrastinating on deciding whether I'm going to do that, but right now I'm leaning towards no because I'm tired and I kind of just don't want to keep moving, and I just want to enjoy my time alone in an apartment that is mine. So yeah, I mean, it was cool. Like, but they're like, well, what else can we do? I'm like, yeah, this is why I tell people not to come here for more than like literally 2 days, because after 2 days, I can't keep coming up with stuff to entertain them. Because yeah, like having the dinner party and meeting friends or like doing something like friends related is kind of one part of it. And then here's the city center, which is literally only going to take like 4 hours. So the fact that we did the city center for 2 days, and then last night we came back and played Dorok, like the Russian card game with my roommate. That was pretty funny. I won like 4 times. Felt pretty good about that. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it was nice. And then, they went to Helsinki this morning, and I'm like, I can give recommendations. But yeah, they're like, you should come to Helsinki with us. I'm like, dude, I'm so done going anywhere. Sorry. Not this week. No, this week kind of crazy. I've got a lot of crap to worry about this week. So yeah, no. Yeah, and then there's like this very annoying thing that seems to happen when I'm here where it's like I will usually kind of like conceal the fact that I'm here as long as I possibly can, but it doesn't work. And then like people want to see me, which is cool. I like that people want to see me, but it's also like there just aren't that many hours in the day, man. And then I gotta like pick and choose who I'm gonna see. And then I'm also like kind of want to be alone. And it's it's the conundrum. Like today, I'm like, I really want to do laundry, but I also really want to go eat at the university. But then I also want to go to sauna. But then I also have these other things, whatever. It just be like that. And so then the other thing that's kind of funny is like my friends, so I worked with them at the restaurant, which is rare that I make friends from the restaurant. And they're like, something like, are you actually autistic? And I'm like, yeah, because they assumed that, and then I didn't know. And then I'm just like, yeah, I feel like most of my friends are autistic. So then that was like also a joke / discussion about everybody here being autistic, which like, I'm like, that's just because it's an engineering university and people who become engineers tend to be autistic. Really? Is that true? Like, yes, that's actually true. You can look it up. I feel like I've said this before. I feel like I'm just going to stick the random Google in here right now. There it is. Okay, so that's everything for today. I'm glad we had a great weekend. Like, honestly, such a great weekend. Yeah, so it was cool. It was really cool, and I'm really glad my friends had a nice time and I was able to be a host, because a lot of people have said, oh, I'll come visit you, and they haven't yet, so yeah. But then also it's a lot better on a weekend because I'm not tied up, I've had my relatives come here on the weekends, and I'm gonna be honest, it feels like babysitting sometimes, because it's like I can't come up with enough things to entertain you, and there aren't really enough things here to entertain yourself, so it's rough. It's really hard. All right, that's everything. I'm gonna actually go do work now. All right, well, thanks, and I'll talk more about finished stuff later, but today I just want to talk about a weekend in Lappeenranta, and all I have to say is, in conclusion, 2 days is enough. It's all you need. All right, until next time. Bye.